Marissa, welcome back to my channel Rissylove, and as you can tell by the title of today's video, it's all about Halloween. So I'm going to be showing you 4 simple ideas for some Halloween treats, and when I say simple, trust me, they're super easy and fun to make. And even if you're not good at this stuff, don't worry about it because they're so simple that they'll end up turning out great anyways. And even if it doesn't, it's supposed to look scary. I mean, it's Halloween, right? So without further ado, let's get started. So for our truffle tarantulas, we're going to need any type of melting chocolate, chocolate truffles, black sprinkles, decorative icing or piping gel, wax paper, and a piping bag or Ziploc bag. So first you're going to melt your chocolate according to the instructions. I'm using candy melt, so I just microwaved it and stirred it until I got the consistency that I wanted. Then you're going to fill it in your piping bag or Ziploc bag, which I used, and it works just as fine. Snip the tip and start piping your spider legs. So you want them to be extended V's with a rounded arch, and you want to go over them to make them thick enough to hold up on their own. So once you're done piping, sprinkle on the black sprinkles to create a fur effect. It's important that you do this as soon as you're done piping the chocolate, because if it dries too soon, the sprinkles will not stick. And you're going to put these into the fridge for up to 4 hours. I did it for about 1 and it worked just as fine. Once your chocolate has cooled enough, you're going to take some more of your melting chocolate and pipe a circle a little bit bigger than the size of the truffle that you have. Then you might want to smooth it out a little bit. And then go ahead and place your spider legs in there, making sure you have an even amount on both sides. Place your truffle in the center, pipe on 2 eyes, and there you go. So for our witch finger cookies, we're going to need all-purpose flour, sugar, vegetable oil or spray, almond or vanilla extract, baking powder, sliced almonds, salt, 1 stick of butter, and 1 egg. So you're going to start by lightly spraying on your vegetable oil onto your pan. I didn't have that, so I used a brush and just lightly coated it with vegetable oil. Then I started to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of fine salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of my baking powder, and whisked that together. So as you can see, I have the paddle attachment on my mixer, and I'm adding 1 cup of fine sugar and 1 stick of butter. I'm going to mix that until it's nice and creamy. Then I'm going to add my egg, which is at room temperature, and 1 teaspoon of almond extract. You can also use vanilla extract. Slowly add the flour mixture until you get a nice dough, and make sure you scrape the sides of the bowl to get a consistent mixture. So once your dough looks like this, you're going to take about 1/2 tablespoon of dough at a time and roll it between your palms into a 5-inch long log about 1/2 inch thick. Basically, you want it to look like a finger. Indent the tip of it so you can place your almond inside and shape around it to make it pointy. Then you're going to use a knife to make little slits where the knuckles are. Press the dough on the side of the cuts to shape the knuckles and the whole finger overall. So we placed 10 fingers on our baking sheet and baked it at 325 degrees for about 16 to 18 minutes. Once your cookies are baked and cooled, you're going to microwave or heat up your raspberry jam until you get a nice consistency, and then start to dip the opposite end of the nail into your raspberry jam. You want it to look really bloody. After dipping, hold your cookie vertically to let some of the raspberry jam drip down and make it look even more bloody. There you go. So this is the simplest idea yet. All you're going to need is any type of juice of your choice, a glass, lychees, and blueberries. Start with your lychees. As you can see, they have a perfect circle which makes it look like an eye socket. So place your lychee on your plate and then take your blueberry and stick it right in there. Try not to push it in too much. You want it on the surface to look like a real eyeball. Make as many eyeballs as you want. Once you have your eyeballs ready, go ahead and pour your juice. You want a red or bluish tone to make it look scarier and also to make the white pop. Go ahead and place your eyeballs in, and there you go. So for our jack-o'-lantern cake pops, you're going to need a cake mix of your choice with its required ingredients, some vanilla frosting, melting chocolate, which is orange or dye for it, and your cake pop sticks. So I'm going to start by following the instructions of my cake mix. I'm using a French vanilla, and so I need 3 eggs first. Then I'm adding my water and vegetable oil. And just making sure I have the eggs broken up into the liquid mixture. Then I'm going to add my cake mix and stir it all together. Once you have a nice smooth mixture, I'm going to pour that into my pan, which is greased at the bottom and also lightly floured. Like I said, just follow the instructions on whatever cake mix you're using, but I suggest a French vanilla. Once that's baked and cooled, you're going to cut it into 4 quarters and cut off the ends. You don't want any of the brown edges in your cake pieces. Now normally people would use all 4 pieces of the cake, but I'm only going to use half of the cake, so I'm going to take 2 pieces and start making the crumbs by rubbing them together. So even after this part, I still have a few big pieces, so make sure you get them very fine. Now for a whole cake, you would use less than a quarter can of frosting. So for half of a cake like I did, I'm using less than an eighth. And you really want to go on the lighter end first, and then if you need more, add more icing. Once you have your mixture ready, use about a tablespoon of your mixture and roll it into a nice ball and place it on your cake pop stick. You're going to put all of your cake pops into the fridge for about 4 hours. Once your cake pops are cool, you're going to take some of your melting chocolate. Now if you do have orange candy melts, you can definitely use that, but I couldn't find any, so I just took my white candy melts and added some orange food gel. Just like the icing, make sure you use a little bit at first and add more until you get the color you desire. Then you're going to go ahead and take your cake pops and dip it into your melted chocolate. After I finished dipping all of my cake pops, I let them cool a little bit in the fridge to let the chocolate set. For the jack-o'-lantern faces, I took some of my melting chocolate that I had left over in my piping bag and remelted that, and I started piping on triangles for the eyes, for the nose, and a jagged shape for the mouth. You can do whatever you want. For the stem, I used some of my leftover spider legs and broke them into smaller pieces and stuck them in the top. And for the leaves, I just used a little bit of green piping gel. Even if it turns out looking kind of messy like mine, it still looks great because like I said, it's Halloween and it's supposed to look kind of scary. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.